Well, good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing? Pretty good here, and welcome to the channel. Hey, today I want to get on here and go over something I discovered. Actually, I thought this might be a problem originally, but when I put the wheel spacers on the truck back here, and this is a 2019 Tundra SR5, and what I did, I put 1¼ inch Bora spacers on the truck because I wanted a little more wheel poke. I wanted the wheels to stick out, the tires to stick out a little further than they were before. So, in doing that, I thought, well, is that going to cause me any trouble when the wheel turns? Am I going to hit anything? And indeed, depending on what size tires you have, and the bigger the tire, the more prevalent this will be, you are going to have some issues. So I'm going to set you up. We're going to do a couple turns of the tire both ways, all the way, and see if we're hitting anything. And I'll let you know one thing that I had to change because it was hitting. So let me go ahead and get you set up. We're going to turn out first, take a look at that, and then we'll go the other way. Okay, there you guys can see we've got the wheel turned all the way out. Now, let's take a look down there and see if we have any trouble. And specifically, I want to turn it back the other way. So let me point you back down because I see where there could be an issue, and that's right in here. Does it rub? Let's take a look. There you go. We've got it turned a little bit further, and you can see we even have more room there. So I don't see any rub there. Let's go back to the front right up here and take a look at that. Now you can see up here we have a ton of room. There's no rubbing issue or anything there. But what happens if we go the other way around? So let me get back inside, and we're going to turn the tire the other way, get you guys back on the full shot there, and let's see if we have any issue that way. Okay, you guys can see obviously in the rear we have no issue there, right? I mean, look at all this, it's cavernous here. But up here in the front, let's take a closer look there. You guys can see how close it is right there in the front to the fender, if you will. And I'm going to turn it a little bit back the other way and see if we touch anything in there. There you go. We've come a little further. Actually, looks like we got a little bit more room turning it. We'll go all the way. And you guys can see there's no issue here. But there was an issue before. Okay, we got it backed around all the way the other way. In other words, with the front tires facing the passenger side. And this is where the issue comes in, and that is this little mud flap that's on the front, or was on the front. Obviously, I'm holding it right now. So let's go ahead. I'm going to point you back down there. The tire's still turned. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So let me get you back down in the front there. You guys can see how little room there is in between the tire and the fender with no mud flap on there. Zoom you in a little bit, bring you down right there. Now let's go ahead, I'll just lay this up there, and it would have gone, I believe, this way. And you guys can see that it would be very, very close. Matter of fact, couldn't even get it out of there with the back of the mud flap and the screw hitting. But you can see how close it is And if you were to go over any bumps or anything with this thing on there, chances are you're going to rub on this piece. So what does that mean? Well, it means that if you're going to go with a wheel spacer, and particularly depending upon what kind of setup you have, let's see if we can't zoom this back out. There's a close-up for you. Depending on what kind of tire or wheel setup you have, I mean, these are the tires that came on the truck, and they're 275, 55 R20s. I had to look. And you can see how close it is with just those. So if you had a bigger tire on there, obviously you're going to have a rubbing problem with this. There's no doubt in my mind. With the setup I have now, I think it might have just barely rubbed it when you turned, but if the truck was articulating or bouncing at all, you definitely would have been into this. With a bigger tire setup, with the spacers that are on there now, you probably would be into the front of that fender well anyway, and probably would have to remove this this trim piece or this wheel well piece right up here. That would have to be removed, or at least cut out some in this area where the tire turns. Now in the rear, it doesn't look like you'd have any trouble whatsoever. Let me turn the wheel back around. Now, as you can see right here, we don't really have any issue with the tire on the back part of the well here, but there's not a ton of room. I mean, maybe about as wide as the widest part of my hand here that you could fit in between. But again, if you went bigger, with a much bigger tire, you know, a wheeled tire setup, you would have some sort of rubbing problem, and probably would have to do some trimming back there. And I think at the very least, you would have to remove this mud flap, which is going to give you probably somewhere in the ballpark of another 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch room. So you might get by with just moving the mud flap and not having to do any trimming. I'm not sure. And that's if you had, you know, the bigger, wider tire wheel setup, particularly tire, I guess, down there. So just with the simple addition that I did, I had to make a modification, albeit minor. I don't know how important this thing is. Doesn't seem to have any great importance to me, but it was taken off. Out of necessity, it did need to be taken off. So that's what we've got. Just something to be aware of. If you're going for wheel spacers and you're going to extend your wheel out a little bit out of that wheel well, give it a little more poke, you probably are going to have to make some sort of minor modification, or maybe more major if you've got a bigger wheel tire combo on there. Okay, we're gonna put something back on that I had taken off of the Tundra back here because I was having the wheel spacers done. I didn't want to leave them on and have the shop have to mess with them or even potentially lose them. And what they are Color Lugs. If you take a look at the lugs right now, we have this nice blacked out wheel, pretty much blacked out truck for the most part, or grayed out. But we have these shiny chrome lug nuts sticking out here. You guys can see them there. You can see them back there, just glistening in the sunlight. So what I've got, and like I say, I had these on before, are Color Lugs. And the company, of course, is Color Lugs. You guys can see what they are. They're little lug covers. You can see them right in there. That's what they are. They simply slip over the lugs and give you that nice blacked out look. That's my whole bag right here of what I took off. They did send some extras, so we're golden there. And this is a little puller. You can pull them off by hand, although it's relatively difficult. You stick this on, clamp it on there like so, and pull them off. It's pretty easy to do with this little tool, such a simple little thing. And I will say, this does add a little bit of security to the truck, because let's face it, anytime anybody's trying to steal anything from anywhere, they want to get in and out quick. They don't want to get caught. So the more roadblocks you throw up in between them and whatever it is they're trying to steal, the better it is. Chances are they're going to move on to some other truck that doesn't have something like this, that's easier to manipulate. So let's grab them and I'll show you how they go on. Again, it's pretty simple. If you hadn't seen this before, got my little knee pad here because the sun's out and the asphalt here is rather warm. But we're going to start here in the front. I didn't even clean these up or anything. I just brought it out here to put these on. So we'll open up the bag. Let's start grabbing some of these things. Again, they just slip right on. It's pretty darn simple. Just like so. That's it. I'll go ahead and do the rest. Show you how easy this is to do. I don't know how much easier a mod you could do. You need no tools to do this, by the way. And two more. And one more. That's it. So we're now going to go around, we'll do the rest, and then we'll take a final look at how this dresses up the truck. Okay, we're done. That's it. Takes all of about 4 minutes and 38 seconds. Now, I don't know, less than 5 minutes. But let's take a look. They're all on. Much, much better look. Check that out. I just think it dresses up the wheels so much by having those on. It hides the chrome, obviously. You guys can see, and it just makes that wheel tire package look better, in my opinion, especially with this T-Force centerpiece that we have there. Let's bring you guys back out. You guys can see right there. Looks awesome. Let's just take a quick trip around the truck. You guys can see it from a distance. We no longer have those shiny chrome bits popping out at us as we're looking at the truck. Definite improvement, in my opinion. Take a look at the other side real quick. This is pretty inexpensive. I think it's under 30 bucks, probably under 20. You can check them out. It's Color Lugs, again, is where I got these. I just think they're awesome. Great product, and makes a huge difference in the appearance of the truck, in my opinion. Anyway, just wanted to show you guys that real quick. Put them on again for anybody who may not have seen the previous video that was out there. You guys can check that out. And let me know what you think. Is this something you put on your truck? Have you done it already? Thanks for watching. As usual, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time on the web. Have a great day. Bye.